We talking about the starter builds. We talking about the immigrant mindset, the grind set, to find that bag set. That's what y'all need, bruh. That's what y'all need. Let's get into it. All right, let's define what a starter build is. Chances are you're probably one of them. 18 to 25 years old. Um, Specifically, I'm talking about people who are like born in the country that they're currently in and working in, right? In this case, like you're born in Skyrim, you're a Nord. Maybe you're not a Nord, but you speak fluent Nord. You speak fluent English. You can get by. You're finally entering the PVE environment that is life. Sometimes it can be tribe versus environment if you really want to live that way. But when it really boils down, when you gotta face problems, bro, you gotta face them alone sometimes. You're struggling and you're kind of stun locked with a what do I want to do mindset. You don't know what you want to do, and that's literally how everyone is starting out. Even midway through their 20s, even in their 30s, they don't know what they want to do. But you don't want to have that stop you from pursuing something that can get you that bag, that can lead you to get the bag, because you need money to even figure out what you want to go and do. Sometimes just getting a job and talking to people and like making your tribe grow can expose you to opportunities that you had no idea even existed. You know, I for one am exactly like that in that scenario. If you're living at home, you're making hella bands with your work, you're saving hella bands because you ain't paying rent. That shit's some cash money, bro. Maybe you got a college fund, maybe you got scholarships to push you through college, and you know something a lot of people like to hate, but I respect it. If you worked your way and worked hard enough to get a scholarship, or like your parents saved enough money to put you through school, or have enough money to put you through school, out of their own pocket, out of their own paycheck as you go through it, I respect that. I mean, isn't that's the whole point? That's the whole point. How am I gonna be like, uh, your parents got you through college, you're a daddy's boy or some bullshit? It's like, bro, like if I had a kid, yeah, I'm gonna help him. You know what I mean? Like everyone has like a similar goal, and then for whatever reason want to feel some type of way and like flex just because they had to struggle. Just because they had to grind, they want to make you feel bad about the fact that you had like a different start, even though it's like people start at different points, right? So starter builds come with a lot of like buffs. Sometimes you have like the worst debuff you could have is like a terrible relationship with your parents. Like no bullshit. Getting thrown out of your house at 18 or like 20 or whatever, and you don't have like a solid career plan or like a solid job going on, and you got to go and pay rent. I mean, in some areas, it's like, dude, you got to go move. Like you got to go out there, right? Like here's an example, right? Like if you get kicked out in DC, bruh, you cannot afford the rent in DC, right? And if you can afford the rent in DC and it's dirt cheap, you're on the wrong side of DC. Like real talk, you will soon, you might end up not having to pay rent at all. You know what I mean? Like in my father's house, there are many mansions type beat. Like you got to be careful, okay? Or if you're gonna have to go to like a more rural or more poor or less fortunate area if you get kicked out at that point. Especially if you're mid college. Like if you get mid college and you get cut off like that, fuck, dude. Like you better hope you don't have Sally Mae. So for some starter builds, I'm super sympathetic to, right? Like they got a crazy ass story. They're like, yeah, man, I was doing college and shit, and then like my parents got divorced or whatever, and all of a sudden the money was gone. I'm like, damn, you know, I'm very sympathetic to that. That's tough. You got to cope with that. That one battle is like coping with that, and another battle is still trying to like build up a life. So, I can't treat all starter builds like they're like Zoomers that drink Tide Pods and shit. Even though like that's the joke I have now, but people got tough experiences. But I mean, I've seen a lot of starter builds like just throw the bag away, and we're gonna get that into a couple slides. But the thing is, as a starter build, you got buffs that you don't even think you know, right? And you may not know it because of the fact that like you live in or live in a city or a county where like there's not a lot of like immigrant kids, and they don't tell you about like the experience that their parents have gone through, or maybe you just don't have that many friends that are immigrants, or maybe they're like the friends that you have are like the kids of immigrants, and they don't even know their story or fully appreciate their parents' struggle to get them to where they are. So you may not even be aware of the buffs that you got. You may think like this is my default build, woe's me, and it's like it could be worse, bro. It really could. Trust, right? I already know what you're gonna say. I already know what you're gonna say. Oh, well, it doesn't matter to me if my problems are worse. I got a slide for it. Don't worry. Okay, it's coming up. Relax. Okay. But you got buffs. You got citizenship, like off rip, just from the jump. You know what I mean? You got citizenship. You can apply for a passport, easy peasy. It only costs like $300 or something. Get a passport. If you like, there's a lot of Americans out here. Like I was so shocked to hear this. Right, a lot of Americans don't have passports, bruh. Get a passport. The fuck? You know, you gotta like if you're making money and you got no responsibilities, man. Like travel within your budget. Go have fun. Go see new horizons, bro. Go talk to people. Go see all this shit, man. I can't say don't do that when I've done it and like have like gotten new insights and experiences and it's like contributed to who I am. So the only responsible thing I can really say to you is that like if you can truly afford it and it fits in the spreadsheet and you've saved for it, go do it. Have fun. That's a whole video about like side quests, right? You have the right to work in America. You have the right to work in Rome. Dude, you know people like really die for that shit, right? You have the ability to invest in Rome's economy, into their stock market. You have the ability to join the army, you know, the military at large. If you don't know what you want to do, bruh, I'm not even gonna cap. I've thought about it. You know what I mean? Like those benefits are crazy. Those benefits are crazy. And if you can land, like if you got a good head on you, and you can land a good MOS, you stay for a couple years, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna cap, right? Some people see that as like the ultimate like bad decision or the ultimate like last resort. No bullshit. If you're dealing with a crazy debuff, like I don't even know. I don't know. Like you have a kid coming on the way or some shit, bruh. Like good choice. Good choice. Go do it. You know it's gonna be rough, but bro, you're gonna get that. You know you're gonna buy formula. You're gonna get a stable life. You're gonna buy a house. Like that shit's just gonna work out sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not the ultimate do-over. You know sometimes you can't even qualify. So like you gotta really be careful about like the debuffs that you acquire because some of those can completely disqualify you from ever joining, right? Like if you get the debuff of like alcoholism or some shit and you get like crazy DUIs or you catch a F, I need I need to get a picture of Crocker for F for felony, right? If you catch a felony and that shit disquals you from joining, bruh, there goes your ultimate do-over. You know what I mean? Like it's not the ultimate do-over, but there goes like a really good opportunity you could take, and there's a really good like fallback plan that's just out the door. You know, it could I don't know, like that's a really tough position to be in. Not only that, and I really want to have my own videos for different concepts, but it's like damn, I really got to include it here, you know, but and it'll get like flushed out in further videos. But the idea of what a economic cowboy is, right? Like a lot of starter builds can be economic cowboys. Some of them do it and they do it the wrong way in the sense that like they pay out-of-state tuition for an out-of-state school because that out-of-state school is like their dream school. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. If you ain't got no bands and you're saying I want to go out of state, bruh, wrong answer. Wrong answer. And you're taking Sally Mae loans with Sally Mae interest, bruh. Holy moly. I've seen some crazy shit, right? But like economic cowboys, bro, like you really ain't got that many roots. You know what I mean? Like maybe you like even if you love your family, even if you love your peeps, right? You can go anywhere. You can go make your bag anywhere, right? Like when I was a mechanic, there was this guy, my friend Isaac, right? He got his license, bro. Dipped, gone. He was like, bro, I'm going to Alaska, there, making his bag there. I'm going to West Virginia, making his bag there. He didn't let his geography stop him, right? Throughout all 50 states. He just was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my bag there. I'm gonna make my bag there. That's where the money is. That's where the buffalo's going, bro. You're a cowboy chasing the buffalo. Economic cowboy. You're in West Texas and the oil fields. You're in, I don't even know. You're in the South China Sea on a boat for the Navy. You know, fixing their servers and shit and fixing their engines because it's a fat bag. You know what I mean? Like that's what a lot of young people can be, and they've put themselves in a box and think that they're like just like within the confines, especially if they come from like a small hometown. When you're coming from a small hometown, you got to fight the debuff of like small hometown thinking, where it's like this is just the box that I'm in, this is where I am, and this is where I'll always going to be. You know, there's no opportunities beyond it, all that stuff. When I went to like small towns here and there, some peeps had that mentality, and I'm like, yo, like there's a whole like the nearest cow town was the big city for them. You know what I mean? And hey, look, I get it, I respect it, but at the same time, they're letting that limit their mindset, and that's a debuff that they have to overcome, 100%. Like they can scrounge up the change and push forward. You know, by factor of them being able to like join the military or some shit like that, they can escape that small hometown vibe. That's a whole different video that I want to call like Fast Money Young or something, right? Now here's a major debuff that a lot of starter builds have, okay? And this is the problem is it happens to them at 18, okay? They don't understand that the bag, like they don't understand the bag that they have. It's crazy. They don't understand the potential bag that they can have, and they don't understand that the bag that they have and the opportunities that they have right now. And what's crazy to me is that like Sally Mae will straddle them with debt at 18. That's wild, bro. When you're 18, yeah, you're legal to do a lot of shit, and you're a legal adult and you can vote. But bro, you really don't know much. If you sign up and on something that you don't really know what you want to do, and then you go for a major and you straddle up with Sally Mae and you can't pay off those loans, holy moly, bro. Holy moly. Like those 10 years between 18 to damn 30 on a Roth IRA. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, right? Don't take advice from me. But damn, those your 20s are crazy for that compound interest, and you're like straddled to pay that shit off. Like, bruh, that can be so brutal, right? And you like sometimes it's necessary. I get it. Like if you're trying to be a lawyer, if you're trying to like really make a bag, like a Roth ain't gonna mean shit if you're trying to make lawyer money. But that's not selling the bag. Selling the bag would be like straddling with debt on a major that you know for sure. You know for sure that other people have like problems finding employment and finding like tangible, financial, meaningful employment in. You know, when you're trying to feel your way through a career. And like I said earlier, do not mix your feelings with your finances. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. You wouldn't do that with a spreadsheet. You can't show love. You can't show love to a spreadsheet. It doesn't compute on a spreadsheet, right? So why would you do that when it comes to picking a career or picking a job? You know, like it's not always about what you want. You know, like what do I want to do? What do I want to do? It's not always about that, bro. It's about what can I do to get the bag to fund the passions that I have. You know, and you can always switch careers. That's the biggest thing. But like something permanent, crazy. They don't know the bag they have, but more importantly, relative to this like dichotomy between a starter build and an immigrant, they don't know that the bag they have of being born in this country is crazy, right? Like people dodge bullets, they duck barbed wire, and worst of all, they deal with the American bureaucracy just to be where they are, just to be where you are right now, where you're sitting in that. Like when you go inside of a convenience store or inside of a library, and you stand where someone else is standing, or like you stand on the doormat that says welcome, bro, they have to jump through so many hoops just to get through that, bro. They had to go through debuffs that you can't even imagine just to get there. And that's the bag that you have. That's a passive bag. That's a passive bag buff. That should embolden you. That like don't take that as a form of like evoking guilt. Like I'm wasting the bag. People have done this like people do that with like you better eat that. Children in Africa could eat that. Like that's not what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at is that like you got a hella opportunity to do hella shit, right? The horizons really are vast. It may not seem like it, but trust me, bro. Like there's a lot of reason. Yeah, trust me, bro. But there's a lot of reasons why people still want to come here because they know how vast the opportunities are, if not for them, for their children. Think about it. So examples of like throwing the bag away. Okay. Acquired debuffs, right? And I thought about this and I kind of laughed to myself as I was writing it. Becoming a nicotine necromancer and and an alcohol alchemist, right? Like, bro, these are debuffs that are so avoidable, bro. So avoidable. And the thing is, it's possible to avoid them. Now, I said earlier, if you see it in your family, if you see a family history of it, you gotta know, bro. If you see other people around you doing it, and trying to pressure into it, bro, you gotta know. You gotta know that if you walk down that path, it's gonna be even harder than somebody who doesn't have that like predisposition to fight. That makes it all the more like that's like all the more reason for you to fight it even harder. Okay. You're not getting assistance for the debuffs that you have, right? Like you may not. First off, like it might be because you don't even think that like you have that debuff. Right. First off, like, how are you going to get help for a problem if you don't know if it's a problem? Right. Step one. But even if you do know if it's a problem, or even if you are like refusing to be challenged on it or question it in your head, like faux masculinity, this I'd win mindset when it comes to like stark realities, you know, and like becoming like radically turning to ideologues and shit, watching tape videos, all this other shit, overdosing on like the red pill, black pill, all this bullshit, dude. Like. You're not getting help. You're not getting help for it. You're trying to do this lone wolf solo build for life, and it's not working. You're not getting help. You're not getting assistance from the tribe. How are you gonna get it? How are you gonna really build a strong connection with your tribe if you don't even allow yourself to get helped by them? It's crazy to me. It's wild. It really is. A kid. Bro, need I say more? Like, for real? Like, how many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen this out here, right? Like, go turn on Maury. Bro's talking about, like, oh, bro, can my insurance pay for this paternity test? Bruh, if that kid is yours, bro, you can't afford that kid. Like, you get a kid, bro, you gotta get, like, life was like this, you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, holy moly, dude, you gotta, that is priority number one. If you have a kid, but, like, it's a debuff in the sense that, like, you're not ready for it, and it happens to you. It's crazy. It's avoidable, too, but it's crazy. Like, watch out. You fucking up the Excel sheet, bro. You're getting hella debt for no reason. You're getting hella interest on that debt. You're not paying it off. You're maximizing the credit cards and not paying it off. You're getting fucking Sally. You're taking a ride with Sally Mae, bro, on something that you know is on some bullshit, bro. You talking about basket weaving? A degree for basket weaving, bro? I mean, for real. Like, you can fight me on it. I don't care. I really don't care. Like ultimately, you're the person who has to pay the bill. So you tell me whether or not like you're really pursuing something that is, you know, worth the penny, right? Again, rule one: suffer and die. That's all you, right? And if you're not credit maxing, bruh, oh my god, dude. Like even at 18, again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Even at 18, if you just open fucking credits, like lines of credit, credit cards, whatever, and just let the years stack on it, right? Look, first off, bro, you're gonna be spending money anyway, right? Come on, bro, you're gonna be spending money anyway. So why not just put it on a credit card and treat it like a debit card? Why don't you not max out your card? Oh hell no. Why don't you really be smart with your credit? Keep that fucking utilization rate low as hell, and then build that credit history. So that way, when you have to make a big boy purchase, like a new car, if you're ever gonna get a new car, okay. Sorry, like a big boy purchase, like a house, or a new to you car that you want to go and get like financing on or something, right? Like at some point they're gonna have to pull, they're gonna have to pull rank, they're gonna have to pull credit, and if you're caught lacking without it, you're gonna act goofy. You're gonna feel so goofy, bro. Seriously, like there are so many good strategies out there that you can employ to be bulletproof with your credit. Like be smart, bro. Don't get caught lacking with credit, without credit. And don't get caught lacking with shitty fucking credit. Don't do that. You are going to be taken for a ride. No credit? No problem. Yeah, dude, you're going to be rocked. That interest rate is going to be crazy. You're going to look at me and say, like, bro, that 14% Camaro, that was a good deal. What? You know what I mean? Like, chill out. Another debuff, and this is actually, like, not a big problem, is that, like, not as big of a problem, but, like, bro, like, sometimes it's like, dog. Like, lock in a second, man. Let's speak some English. The inability to speak formally, you adopt a full Sumerian dialect and shit, and it's like, bro, it's hard to take you seriously. It's hard to really, like, I'm not telling you to talk like a fucking college dissertation or some shit like that, but it's like, if I have to look up on Urban Dictionary every single fucking thing you say, especially if it's like a job interview or some shit like that, or if it's like something that's of importance, like you're trying to like really tell me what you're trying to tell me, but you're, saying no cap, that's bussin' for real, speaking like a Subway Surfers character, it doesn't it doesn't really bode well to your image. You pull that in an interview, you might not get the fucking hiring if you're not going to speak respectfully in an interview, because you're speaking in that slang, you're way too casual or whatever, bro. You're selling the bag, you're throwing the bag away. Being sold a dream, a dream dash, right? A dream car, a dream dash school, a dream dash house, a dream dash lifestyle. This whole laptop lifestyle shit, this whole e-commerce, like remote business, work from home, your own CEO type shit. And it's like, bro, you could be locking in doing something else and really like stacking that experience, stacking that bag, stacking that fucking like IRL EXP, but you want to go and like pay for a course for a laptop lifestyle. Crazy to me, right? You want to fuck the checkup at Ulta, or the Lego aisle at Target, or or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like you want to go and do that shit just to maintain a lifestyle for whatever reason, and you're not even like sure why you're doing it. Like sometimes you're doing it because you had like poverty in your past. You know what I mean? And you're not coming to terms with it in a healthy way. You're just saying like, I was poor before, I'm never gonna be like NBA, bro. I'm never broke again. Like, yeah, you may not be feeling like you're broke again, but if you do it too much, you might end up being broke again. Like, no bullshit, bro. So lock up, young boy. A dream career, like, okay, you can get a dream career and have the bag, All right, there's a nuance to my statement here, right? But if you're getting a dream career that requires like hella schooling for relatively no reason and the payout's not that crazy, you have to stop and think, listen, dude, right? It's not fair that this is the case. It's not fair that society is built that way. It's not fair that this degree program is built this way. But at the same time, I don't have to suffer the check. I don't have to be here when the check comes, right? I don't have to sell the bag pursuing a career that is structured in a shitty way. In my opinion, I think like social worker, like being a social worker, right? And needing all that schooling and needing all this debt to fund it is just wild. Like, we need social workers, we really do, and there's people out there that want to go do it, but the second they leave schooling and the interest rate kicks in on their loans and shit, like, bruh. And the thing is, yeah, they're sold on a dream career and they're not looking at the finances behind it, and they're fucked over. They might have the best intentions. They may be the best person ever. They want to help people. They're like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a very commendable thing, but like, you know, the guy with the Excel sheet in the background is like, dude, I'm gonna fuck your check up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fuck your credit up. I'm gonna fuck that debt up, and you can't default. That's crazy to me, right? Like, I don't want to see you become that. But you can also toss your buffs in the toilet too, right? Like, if you say, oh, I'd never do the military, whatever. I'll never get a benefit out of it, whatever. Or I don't care if English is my fluent language, and I'm just gonna not like max into it in a professional way and write professional emails and write professional papers in college and shit, and you just sell the bag away. It's like value what you have, value the skills that you've been honing all your life, and use them accordingly. Like, come on, bro. Now here's a note on restarters. I'm hearing a lot of like a lot of these doomer guys are like people I would call restarters, where they pursue a career in one direction and like spend a couple years doing it, and then they hit a wall or something, right? Like, there's a hiring freeze in a career. Like right now there's a hiring freeze in like programmers and shit, right? And they feel like it's just completely over. They listen to all the other doomers and they say like, dude, I pursued this, I'm 30 years old, whatever, it's over. Okay. I'm a restarter. I actually am. I'm young, but I'm a restarter. I was doing aviation and then I switched to a different field, you know? So there was a period in time where I was falling into this mindset, but at the same time I needed to like, I need money. I needed to get shit done. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just sit on my ass and be like, all the doomers are right, you know? There's no way, there's no helping it. I tried my best, you know, I tried my best on one career. As if like everyone chooses the exact career that they want to go do, or the perfect career for their finances the first time. I know plenty of restarters, and they're the hardest workers ever. Some of the hardest workers you'll ever meet are restarters, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it, bro. You wonder why they're so locked in? It's because this is like their third attempt at a career, and they're taking all the lessons that they took, all the life experience that they had from those other careers and those other fields, and putting it to work. Like, you're like, damn, this is like your first year in, like, I don't know, doing this or that, but it's not their first year working. You know what I mean? It's not their first time in the rodeo. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were riding horses, and this is their first time riding bulls, but they can still know how to throw it down, bro. Like, let's be real. Not to mention the fact, and I think the craziest part is that, like, the immigrants are, like, the biggest antithesis or the biggest counterpoint to anybody who says, like, you're 30, it's so over. Like, most of these immigrants come here at, like, 25, 30 plus. Personally, I know plenty of immigrants that have come to this country above the age of 30. And still, like where they are right now, like 40, 50, bro, they got the bag going. They got that shit, like, locked in. They're doing well. They're doing well with a wife and kids. That's the craziest part. House, cars, wife, and kids. They're locking the fuck in, dude. And here's the craziest part. They're living the American dream better than people who are, like, original starter builds, who could be restarters and like pursue the hope of being a restarter and really, like, fucking build some really good shit in their life, and then quit. Right? They're living the American dream better than these guys are. And these guys, instead of, like, saying, holy shit, like, I really have no excuse, or whatever, or like I could take tangible solutions to counteract all the excuses I could give and just work towards a better standpoint, bruh. They're like, instead of doing that, instead of pursuing, like, a healthy way, they're just like, fuck them, they're taking our jobs, bruh. They hating. That's all you're gonna do. That's all you're gonna hate. And I'm gonna foreshadow a real gem at the end of the video. But, bro, don't hate. Let your bank account appreciate. Come on, bro. Eyes on your own paper. You know what I'm talking about? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Are you telling me like it's over? Like you're 24 and it's over. Okay, you're right. You're right. It's over. You're 30. It's over. It's over. It's over. And it's just such a goofy concept when you really think about it, because like when they say it's over, it's by standards that's within their heart that like an immigrant coming here really doesn't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Like if like they're giving them a timeline of like by 30 you should have this, right? And then saying, "Oh, you're 30, it's over. There's no way you can do it." Right? Like there's no hope. Don't bother doing it. And then like there's so many immigrants here that either they do it or their kids do it. And it's like, bro, their kids gap diff in income compared to like you know, non-immigrant children. It's crazy. Like the children of non-immigrants. It's insane. It's insane. I've showed the research earlier, I think in my gold management video, about like why you shouldn't pay rent. but seriously, like how do you answer for that? How do you answer for that? Oh, well, they had the bag back home. No, they don't. A lot of people come here poor, bro. A lot of people come here, scrounge hella money, pay visa fees, pay plane fees, and they're couch surfing, bro. They're couch surfing. They're coming here, and they're like, they know a guy that's here, and they're just kind of like chilling for a little bit, or they're moving in with a relative, and they're chilling for a little bit. But the reason why they're chilling is because they really ain't got they really ain't got the money coming in. Like seriously. And even if they do, even if they got the money coming in while they're here, they're stacking their crumbs and they're building their pie to something better, right? Once they get their bag going, once they got a good career going, once they got a good job going, they're gonna get their wife and kid come back. The craziest part is that they have a debuff that you don't, right? Like if you're a starter build and you got a career, or if you're like in your 20s, 30s, 40s and you got a career and you're single, or you have a wife and kids, you're only supporting your wife and kids. You're not supporting, you know, your aunt, cousins, uncles, the whole fucking tribe back home. You're not. A lot of these guys are. A lot of these guys are sending money, a substantial amount, to them to support the people that they have back home, to support the projects that they have back home. They're building their retirement house back home. This is money that's going out the way. Whatever money that they're making, whatever bag that they're making right now, right here, right, that they're working hard for, that they're, whatever crumbs they're stacking, is not going to build a crazy ass pie in the same amount of time that you could, as someone who's a native. That's the craziest part, because they got to stack two pies. They got to stack and support the pie that they built over here, the family that they got, the house that they're gonna live in when they retire or whatever, if they're doing that, right? In addition to the family that they have in the United States. They're like, you're talking about I can't build a pie when they're building 3 in the oven. It's crazy. It's so nuts to me. Like, lock in, bro. You got this. You don't have the debuffs they have. So, you know, I'm not saying what's your excuse, but like really, like what is your excuse and how can you counteract them? List them out. I got this. I'm broke. I got this payment. I got this debt. Okay, bet. Let's work towards them. Let's get them done. You know, a lot of these guys are coming in with debt too, bro. Like the reason why they got a visa ticket, the reason why they got like a plane ticket here is because they owe loan sharks back home. Like, you think you got debt? They got debt that can break ankles. They got debt that can take fingers away. You know, like this is some real life shit. Not to mention the fact that you can't really sell this "it's over" mindset to like a fucking immigrant that just landed at the airport. Like with these standards that you have, dude. It's so dumb. I talked about it in the other video, but like I really want to visualize this. Like you wouldn't say it's over to somebody who just got here. Like obviously they're here because of the fact that they know that it's actually like this is where it starts. You're saying it's over, they're saying this is where it starts. This is where I can really build something. This is where I can really help out. This is where like it was over. Like if it was over, they wouldn't even left. Right? Like that's what you got to do. You got to go country to country and say like, yeah, you think there's opportunity back in America where I'm from? Nah. And the craziest part is that you mean it. You mean it when you're talking about yourself, but you wouldn't mean it if you talked about anybody else that's in a different country or whatever, right? Like they have their ticket booked, shipped, visa approved, and you're there, you're stopping them. Hey, whoa, don't you know this? Don't you know it's over here? Don't you know there's no more frontiers to explore? Don't you know that we can't go any far west? Oh my god, bro. I don't care. The craziest part about the whole like there's no frontiers to explore is that you got a guy like Outdoor Boys still out in Alaska hiking, chilling. You ain't doing that. I don't have the money to. Okay, cool. So then why are you like bitching about the fact that you can't explore the frontier? You can still have like Homestead Act like loans and shit and payment plans to build a shed in Alaska. Go do it. If you're really worried about the last frontier, there's nothing to explore anymore. Dude, who cares? Well, explore. Why do I care? It's never over, dude. It really isn't. They don't give a fuck about that. All this it's over shit, your standards, because they're focused on their mission. Again, first video. Rule 0. What matters is the mission, right? If you're talking about it's over, rule 1, suffer and die. Or rule 2. You have a second option. Rule 2. Suffer and live. You're gonna suffer either way, bro. You're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to really push it. You're gonna have to really like grind for that shit. You're gonna have to cry for it, bro. Crying for the bag is crazy. I know, no, but seriously, like crying for the goal that you have. If you really love that goal, bro, you're gonna push for it. It's gonna be insane, dude. It's gonna be tough. You gotta work a double shift. You're gonna have to say no to Chick-fil-A. You're gonna have to not spend 5 bands on Chick-fil-A over the course of 2 years. Somebody knows that joke. But no, seriously, like that's what you kind of have to do. Science tangent on the whole lock-in thing. Like I mentioned this up here. A lot of people like they focus on the idea of locking in more than they should focus on the idea of being like undistracted, right? Like if I was a lawyer, the last thing I would want on my desk is those stupid like Newton ball like clacking things, dude. That shit's just so distracting to me. The last thing I would want as a lawyer is like 2 monitors, right? And I have like a video running on each side. Like imagine that. You walk into your law firm. You need a lawyer. He's like, oh yeah, come on in, and he's got YouTube on the side. He's like, yeah. He's got Subway Surfers on a second monitor. That's crazy. Like your lawyer wouldn't do that because he's focused on your case. He's focused on his mission. He's focused on what he needs to do. But to achieve a state of focus, he's being undistracted, right? In my opinion, I truly believe that pushing a undistracted state is a lot easier and a lot more tangible than just locking in. I gotta lock in. That's like manually breathing. You're doing it right now, right? Like you're gonna automatically breathe without really thinking about it. Sorry, I had to manually breathe there. Much in the same way that you'll achieve a locked-in flow state when you're truly undistracted. The whole point of this tangent is for you to focus on something, to focus on your work, to focus on your homework or whatever. The best thing you can do is not be distracted. It's not a groundbreaking concept. What I'm basically trying to say is that so many people are like, I gotta lock in, I gotta focus, I'm not focused, whatever. When in reality, all it is that they're distracted. When I film these videos, my phone is upside down, bro. The screen is down. I don't want to get like a bing, 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 come look at me. You know, I don't want to go and do that. So try to be more undistracted and less focused on locking in, if that makes sense. So the immigrant player build, like that's the whole point, right, of this video, is that I'm comparing a starter build American that has buffs and debuffs to the immigrant player build that mostly has a lot of debuffs, bro. Like real talk, right? If you think that your shit is hard, I can almost guarantee that some immigrant out there has it harder. Like no bullshit, right? Like you probably have like I'm not trying to discredit your issues, bro. You got your own dragons to fight, real talk. But you should take strength in the fact that other people are fighting harder dragons. Like, oh, that's got here. I'll just skip to the slide right here, right? Oh, that's got nothing to do with me. Someone has worse problems. Who cares? I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me, though. Yeah, that's the point. But the thing is, like, you're probably facing similar issues, and you can do it easier because you have buffs compared to somebody who's coming here with basically nothing, bro. Like, no bullshit. All right, so back to the immigrant player build. Dude, try adopting a mentality that they got. I'm happy to be here. Dude, almost every immigrant I've met, like, working with or whatever, dude, they're like, their energy's crazy. They're always there, bro. They're always like, they're not always happy. Like they joke around and like they get serious and shit sometimes. But bro, their energy's insane. They work fucking hard. And the thing is, and they joke around, dude. These guys are so fucking funny, bro. Like I'm pissed off. I'm trying to lock in at the fact that I'm pissed off, and they say something so funny, bro. I gotta stop. I'm like, damn, that is hilarious. You know, I'm dying laughing. Try it because they have that. I'm glad to be here, bro. I'm glad to collect the check. I'm glad to collect the check and send it back home. Right now, I gotta build, like, I'm building a building in Africa to retire in. Like, that's the mindset that they got. You know what I mean? That's why they're so jovial all the time. They're closer to their peeps. They're closer to the family. They're closer to God. All that shit. You know? Like, they're happy to be here. They're happy to be here because there's such a vast horizon of opportunity. If there's not a vast horizon of opportunity for them, guess what? Guess what? There's a vast horizon of opportunity for their kids, and that's a pretty noble pursuit. I'll highlight that in another slide. But like, if it's not for them, if it's not for themselves, it's for them. It's for their kids, and that's why they do what they do. That's why they really push for what they push for. You gotta really respect it, bro. You gotta respect it. Like if you're a young dude, single guy, no kids, no stress, no nothing, you might just up and quit a job. Like, man, fuck this. I don't need this. I don't need the bag like that. I'm gonna do what I want. Whatever. Okay, great. But these guys, bro, they're working because they have to, and that's why they're so hyper focused. That's why they just right, because if they don't do it, bro, there's a whole village relying on them. There's a whole section of the family that has like agricultural projects back at home that relies on their funding. Without them, bruh, it's crazy. And the thing is, they're not just doing that out of obligation. Like, they probably got funding for their ticket because everybody back home scrounged up and got them through there. You know what I mean? They're returning the investment that other people have in them. And there's almost nothing more fulfilling than like honoring your tribe, than honoring the people that you love, that like providing love for others through your hard work, through your actions, whether it's your kids or your extended family or whatever, right? They're really hyper objective to what's real. Like, I've seen it, and it's typically because like they stay here a little too bit, and they kind of lose sight on like the sobriety that you have when you just come here. But they're very disillusioned to like really stupid standards that we have here, and like social landmarks. Like, they don't buy makeup. They save so much fucking money on makeup. You know what I mean? They'll dry beaters. You know, when I was in mechanic school, bro, there was this guy. He was an immigrant, and his whole family were immigrants, right? This dude was like the most fucking like hands-on bro ever. Like, he knew how to work shit. Like, I think he went and got a degree in like mechanical engineering. And when I talked to him about the car that he had like this clapped out Honda Fit. It was a crazy car. Like, this shit looked beat up. You know what I mean? On the outside. And he's like, yeah, I rebuilt the engine like 3 times or whatever. I'm like, holy moly, bro, that is crazy. Like, he's got money. He's got money because that was his daily. But like, one day he pulled up in an Audi, and I'm like, yo, like, I didn't know it was like that, bro. I didn't know it was like that. Apparently, he went and bought his spot in like a hangar. You know what I mean? And he would like store some of his cars there, even though you're not supposed to, and like would store planes there and shit, and like people would pay him for that shit because it's so hard to like be on the waiting list for a fucking hangar at the airport or whatever. It was insane. It was insane. This guy, dude, he really opened my mindset on like what's possible and like how to do shit. Like, I remember he and I were like tearing apart engines and shit, and he was like, all right, bro, like, I understand that you feel like there's no way out. Like, this bolt is broken, you're panicking, but you gotta lock in. You gotta go get a spare bolt from the parts store or some shit. Like, I was young back then. I was like, kind of like in a box mentally. But he really was like, dude, like, it's okay, no problem. Like, I really respect bro. Like, he and I don't talk no more, but like, damn, I'm like, I didn't realize how much he changed how I saw approaching problems and saw like life in America until like he and I really started chatting shit. Like honestly, he's a large inspiration for this whole PowerPoint. You know what I mean? Like, he's really in here. He's locking in. He's making his money. He's worked shitty ass jobs, and now he's making hella bands at some like pharmaceutical company. Like, bro is making good money. Bro's really living the dream. Bro's in his bag. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys are forced to start from the bottom and tech into life skills that you need to really tech into. Like a lot of people who go to college, and why that's such a like main thing is because that's where you like are forced into learning life skills. You have to cook, right? Like, at least on your second year, where they don't force you to like go into dorms and shit, and they say like you can't cook or whatever. Um, they're forced into life skills. They're forced into cooking. Personal finance is important. When you're scrounging, when you're counting every penny and shit, like, bro, it really matters. When you're counting on every single check to pay your rent, to pay your amenities, to pay for your family and shit, you really are hyper aware of personal finance and dodging debt traps, right? Like, bruh, like dodging issues. And usually they hear it like from other people that like are in their area or in their culture or whatever. Like, a lot of their coworkers are immigrants, and they get tips from it. Like, yeah, don't go to the payday loan thing. You know what I mean? Don't get trapped in a debt trouble or debt trap. Be careful with credit cards here in this country. All this shit, bro. Like, they get hella tips. Like being an immigrant, honestly, bro. Like, you're kind of forced to be social. You got to learn everything, right? So you either like fall in and learn and really socialize with your the culture that you came from, that's in your diaspora, that's in America or some shit, right? Or you learn from other peeps because like when you're immigrant to immigrant, bro, there's some sort of like connection. I don't know what it is. It's like being a frat. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, where you from? Oh, I'm from there. Oh, really? Okay, bro, we're cool now. You know what I mean? Unless it's like unless it's a country that like y'all have beef at, but typically the beef stops here. Like like when we're here, it's crazy, right? Like your country and their country could be beefing hella hard, like back home. But when you're here, the beef kind of can the beef can stop, or it can be like, oh, fuck you, whatever. You know, when you guys get into politics. But if it doesn't get to politics, bro, it's like so like, bruh, let me know. You know what I mean? It's chill. It's so calm, bro. But these guys, bro, they're facing major debuffs and they're still pushing through, pushing forward. These guys work hard, man. You talking about they're taking our jobs? You hating, bruh? These are jobs you don't want. These are jobs that you wouldn't even do. Like no bullshit. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like they're a necessary part of society because they do the things that a lot of these guys here are too good to do. A lot of these guys don't want to work in a restaurant. A lot of these guys don't want to fucking start from the bottom. And these guys are here saying, you know something? It's a check. It pays my rent. It pays my bills. And I got to start from something. That they got a healthier mindset towards it than a lot of Yanks do. It's like it's crazy to me. Like a guy will go to college for 4 years, have no job experience, not work in a single restaurant or anything, right? And then at the end of 4 years, be like, why am I not managing your like critical server equipment? Like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like they don't want to be your first yes, you know, and the immigrants, because they're forced to work and exist here with hardly any support, will go and fucking do that. We'll go and build up that resume, you know what I mean? Major debuffs, bro. The discrimination can be crazy sometimes. Like no bullshit. And like I said earlier, like if the politics are crazy, if the politics are bad, or if you guys are bringing politics to each other, bro, the discrimination can be from like other immigrants. It's wild. You know, the discrimination can be from people who look like you that are here, but for whatever reason think that like you're not one of them. Like I've been told like, bro, you're not black, or whatever. It's like, bruh. Okay, should I tell that to the cop that pulls me over? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? That's so dumb, dude, so dumb. Culture shock, language adaptation is pretty obvious, but like nuance adaptation, like there are a lot of slang words and like common phrases and idioms in American English that you need to get like acquainted to, that is so hard to fucking adopt. I'm like, it's really tough. It's possible, but it's really tough. So when somebody comes here and is like, you know, struggling with English or some shit, and somebody's like, you're in a country that speaks English. Yeah, actually, it's not just these guys that have that accent that do that. I shouldn't do that. Like when somebody's like, you're in a country that like speaks English, so you should speak English. Like what the fuck, whatever. Or you should speak perfect English by the time you're like whatever. It's like, okay, bro, go learn a language. Go learn a language, right? And whatever timeline you gave that person, you better be fluent in it, right? Go speak it every day. There's Duolingo. There's really no excuse for you not to speak it every day, bro. Go join a Discord for people who learn that language. Come on now. Stop joking. Stop playing with me. Don't play with me, bro. If you're not gonna put yourself to that same standard, fuck off. You know, but that is a difficult thing to adapt. Cultural nuances, language nuances, the language itself. You know, affinity fraud is crazy, bro. Damn, you gotta be careful. You know, if you go into like, you know, a car dealership, and the guy across from you is like of the same like, you know, religion back home, or the same country, or the same tribe or some shit, you gotta watch out, because he's gonna use that against you sometimes. It's crazy. Like, you think you're getting a deal, you're letting your guard down, brother. You're letting your guard down. It's crazy. I've seen it. People talking about like, oh, like they do it online. It's like, oh, let's raise, you know, money for the village back home, and then they just disappear with the money. It's wild. Not to mention the fact that can happen back home too. Like they can send money back home. Their cousins are like, yeah, bro, brother, we're doing that project, and then they take the money. Like, damn, bro, I work hard for this. I'm sending it back home to support my family, and you just taking the money like that, bro. They got to deal with like a crazy amount of worry too, bro. Politics back home with the family. War, famine, discrimination back home. You know what I mean? Like, if they're from a certain tribe, and you know the tribe back home doesn't like their tribe, bro, they got to worry about their family. They got to worry about like, you know, the second money's involved, bro, there's people back home kind of fight. Not to mention the fact that they got solitude issues, bro. Like, away from loved ones. Like, maybe they have people here, maybe they have some friends here that came here or whatever. Maybe they make some friends here, but dude, like, solitude away from like your extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, right? Your sister, your brother, your mother, especially if you have like a good relationship. That's tough. that's really tough. That's hard to do. Like I know peeps that haven't seen their peeps in like 20 years, and they're scrounging money to like just visit back home for like a week because they got to pick up a shift the next week. It's crazy, dude. It's really crazy. Like they can't afford to take the month off, the 2 weeks off to go and see their peeps. So that's a crazy debuff, bro. That's something they got to deal with. Not to mention the fact that like back in the day, bro, if you wanted to call them, and back in the day, I'm talking about like before like WhatsApp and Zoom and Viber and like Zallo or whatever. Um, if you wanted to call them, bro, you had to pay like $2, $3, $5. That was a huge deterrence from like picking up the debuff of smoking, right? Like a pack of cigarettes is $6, but like a phone card to call, my grandmother or my mom or whatever back home would be like 5 or 6. Like it's the same amount. Like it's crazy, dude. You know. But dude, like they're operating with the if not I them mentality, right? If not me, if I can't, afford or get all of the fucking benefit of like coming to this country and making the money here and having a comfortable and stable career, my kids will do it. My descendants will do it. The people that I'm supporting will do it. The people back home are going to live better because of what I do here. I do it for my kids. And the thing is, right, bro, like that might be a goal that you have. You might want a wife, kid, husband back in the future. You want kids? You're going to do it for your kids then too. So why are you hating? There are guys out here with a wife and kids looking at an immigrant trying to support his wife and kids and saying, bro, I get out of my country or whatever. It's like, bro, that's like, why are you hating on the same goal that he's trying to do? It's crazy to me. I will never get it. And the thing is, bro, like I highlighted it earlier, but like dealing with the bureaucracy here, dealing with getting a visa, getting citizenship, getting a passport, getting people and loved ones like coming to this country, like, bro, imagine having a wife and not seeing her for 5 years. 5 years trying to get her a marriage visa here. It's crazy. It's real. It's crazy. Like a lot of these doomers are talking about like, I need a GF, I need a GF. Okay, you get one and you come here and you don't see it for 5 years, bruh. That's why I feel some type of way about anybody that like treats like people who like with this kind of background like poorly and shit. Like what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like this guy's dealing with so much stuff. Like fuck off. Like it's actually insane. We highlighted this. Okay, so what? They have bigger problems than me. Yeah, but like they're facing similar problems to you as well. And because they're dealing with worse debuffs, they're dealing with like worse anxiety and shit, and you're dealing with probably less. You should be emboldened by that. Some guy's dealing with the same shit as me, and he's getting through it, and I can learn from him, or I can see how they're doing it and other type of shit, whatever, and I can deal with it in an easier way. So why not learn from them? I've learned so much shit from like, immigrants and my family of immigrants about how to deal with a lot of the problems that they have. Bro, let's talk about the. Hold on a sec. Let's talk about the Bag Chaser Hall of Fame, bro. This guy Nikolai Jovic or whatever his name is, who got like onboarded from Serbia for the Denver Nuggets. Bruh. Dude, he was pew, pew. Bro, he was bucketing. He was throwing them, bro. He was launching missiles, bro. No bullshit. Right? And the craziest part is he became like MVP. He topped the charts. Dude was making Stephen A mad. Dude was making every commentator mad. Like, oh, bro, how can you do it like him? Every single LeBron James, everyone was coping, bro. They're like, oh, no way, whatever, right? And the craziest part is that he didn't give a fuck about the game. He treated the game like a job, bro. You see him in the pregame and postgame interviews. He's like, yeah, basketball, whatever. I don't care. Bro, the way he talks about the game, and the way he talks about like his life back in Serbia, his horses back in Serbia, his farm back home, totally different, bro. That's his passion right there. His passion is his life back home. His job is is the NBA shit. He doesn't give a shit about basketball, bro. Honestly. Honest to God, bro. Like I think like he just killed it one season, and then the next season they're like, yo, you gonna be back? And he's like, oh, maybe I'll think about it, whatever. Like he looks so depressed. He's like, damn, I got it. Like he looked like you when you try to go back to work after like a couple days off or whatever. It's like, bruh. Do I really gotta clock in? Do I really gotta get the bag like that? Like that's not his passion. And the lesson that we should learn here, except for like the glazing that's happening on those questions, right? Is not the question. Okay, the lesson that I'm trying to say with this guy Nikolai is that he's here for the bag to fund his passions back home. That's what every other guy out here is trying to do when they come to this country. That's what they're trying to do. So why is it, bruh? Why aren't you doing that, bro? Why aren't you doing that? You're talking about, oh, I hate this job. Yeah, I get it. But is it funding the bag? Is it funding your passion? Is it allowing you to pursue what you want to go and pursue? Is it letting you do that, right? If your passion is traveling, bro, your money is funding your ability to travel. If your passion is art, bro, go be an accountant. I'm so serious. If your passion is art, go be an accountant. So that way you can fund it, bruh. That way you don't have to worry about rent. That way you don't have to worry about the roof. Don't all the way tech it into one tree if you don't really fuck with it like that, right? I mean that's obvious, but sometimes you kind of have to do it. Like, I really hope you like being a doctor. No bullshit, because that's crazy draining. But the bag is crazy. That's the offset there. But like that's not necessarily your passion. Your passion doesn't always have to be your occupation, right? If your passion is horses, a farm, on some Vinland saga shit, then like Nikolai here, bro, your bag, your passion, your job should allow you to get the bag to fund it. That's the approach you need to have. You don't necessarily need to like your job. You don't necessarily need to love your job. I don't know where this even came from, bro. I really think this is like coming from like all the all the marketing that comes from like college movies and stuff like this, where it's like I'm pursuing a degree that I love, you know, like High School Musical and all these like college dramas about how wild college is. Like I really want to make a video about marketing, to be honest with you. Like I've never studied marketing, but like the more I look into it, I'm like, God damn, dude, this is like satanic. This is some crazy shit. Like wild. Like how college and the media and movies have like paired together and like really sold the image of a college lifestyle or the college experience or whatever. It's the same way, bro. Like you can't see your career as like the career experience or the career lifestyle, right? And like people say like, oh, college is the best years of your life. Hell nah, dude. The fuck? How bruh. College should be your licensing, your ability, your degree that can get you to go and get a career that can enable you to live your best life. If college is the best years of your life, holy moly, what are you doing? You know? The craziest part is that more people spend like you might spend more time and effort and blood, sweat and tears on a degree in college than you ever will in a 40-hour job, right? Like a full-time job plus a part-time job or whatever. Who knows, right? Whatever dynamic you're doing. Like life after college can be so easy when it's just about getting the bag, paying rent, and then doing like spending your free time to do your passion. It's crazy, right? Especially if you don't engage in a whole lot of debuffs, like having a kid early or some shit like that. Like, damn, dude, you can really stack your bread. You can really stack your bread. This guy, he's stacking his bread. He doesn't give a fuck about the game, bro. That's his job. That's his job. You got a guy like you know who really fucks with this game, bro? Brady. Like Brady lost his whole family due to the game, bro. He really loves the game. He retired like what 3 times, twice, whatever. Gronk. Psh, Gronk fucks with football, but he's on that Nicholas shit. He's like, bro, I'm done, bro. I got my bag. I'm done. I'm chilling, dude. I'm gonna do commercials like with Shaq. You know what I mean? And Nicholas the same way. You kind of have to be a Nicholas, bro. Get your bag and let it fund your passions. In his case, horses. In his case, Vinland Saga shit, bro. He's living his life. People were hating. They're like, you got scouted by the NBA. You made your money, and now you're dipping. Fake. You're not. You don't really like the game. You don't really like the sport. Yeah, I don't care. Bro, I don't care. I don't care about Excel sheets. Excel sheets allow me to get the bag, bro. Come on, bro. That's so dumb. But here's the last brick in the Brinks truck for you for this video, bro. Peeps like to hate when they should let their bank account appreciate. Bars. You have a good one. God bless.